This is the PDF version of the Light Optics and Color unit, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how it's set up. I've got it set up, the PDF set up for 2 pages. You can certainly do single pages or scrolling, but it's set up like a book. And you can certainly buy, through Amazon, you can buy a print version if you prefer that version. These are all set up with their hyperlinks, so if you click on that, the red sky, it takes you right to it, which is lovely. And then I'll go back here to this is the contents, so it's giving you kind of an overview. There's some philosophy and how to use it. The student checklist is here, and this is what my students use when they go through a unit to keep track of the labs that they've done and the labs that they still need to do. They don't do every lab on this sheet. I usually give them a list of what is required for this particular unit, what they need to do, and then what are optional, things that are optional. So they never run out of things to do, that's for sure. So the labs are divided into core explorations and extension explorations. And the core are just that, things that I've thought are really fundamental. If you're going to really understand kind of the basics for middle school of optics, these are some of the things you really want to pay attention to. So this is basically magnifying, minifying, what kinds of lenses do which. Bench press looks at the focal length of a lens and how you do that. This is why the sky is blue. This looks at how pigments are added, whether they be light or, pigments or colored lights. So how those add. There are some student sheets here. There's one here. This one here is for students when they're looking at filters, looking through different colored filters, and then they fill in this. If you, in the end, I'll get to that later, but there's some answer sheets there, so you get a good sense of what's going on. And then they can certainly do some eye anatomy and connect that back to some of the lens work that they're looking at. Your eye has a lens, and so they'll look at how that's compared to the lenses they've been studying in this unit. As I said, these are core explorations or core labs, and then there's also these extension. They have a different color. So the extension labs come second. The dissection is considered an extension, but I find the kids don't really pay attention to this. So if you want to swap out some of the extension labs for core and vice versa, I think you should feel free and not worry about how the kids will see that. They'll just do whatever you ask them to do. And so those are the labs, and then I'll go back to the contents. So those are the extensions and the core, and then down here are some additional features. The curriculum's a little unusual in that it's lab driven. So you're working through all of the content and the concepts using lab materials. Some of them are pretty simple to find. Some of them you're going to need to order. So for instance, box light, we made these, but you can certainly make them out of cardboard. You just need something to put a light into and to be able to punch some holes in there to do the pinhole. But the way these labs are set up, you can see here, it's a really quick view of what you need to get, how you do it, and what you're looking for. And then there's some background information here. If you need more information, you can go down to the teacher notes section here, and there's some general information here, but then lab by lab, I give you pretty detailed background information that's going to help you teach and be equipped as a teacher. Here's one of those answer keys. They're filling this in, and so here's some information you're looking for them to fill in here. So that's how that's set up. So the core labs are listed first, and they're listed alphabetically, so you can find them, and then the extension explorations are listed second, and they're also alphabetic, so you can find them that way. So, and then back to the enrichment and sort of give you a sense of what's going on there. So we have the dictation paragraphs, which are just the most sort of distilled information about these various concepts that the kids are studying, and you can decide how you want to use them. We use them in a variety of ways. Sometimes the kids strictly copy them. Sometimes I dictate them. Sometimes they put them, I have them on electronically, and they can listen to them being read to them. They can take notes on them. Sometimes I give a lecture based on them. So that's what this is for. Whereas you'll find in most units, most curricula, it's mostly writing and a little bit of exploration. This one is mostly exploration and a little bit of writing. And there's some historical we love at our school. We spend a lot of time connecting to other content and other disciplines. So here's history, connecting them to history, connecting to art. This is just a fun activity if you want to just get them up and moving. This is called Skit in a Bag. Just something silly that they can do, but they're, again, continuing to engage with the equipment, continuing to engage with the concepts is what that's all about. And here's a graphic organizer and a unit review. If you write tests, and if you this is a decent thing that you can use to sort of write some questions off of for a test. And then these are some answer key. Here's the answer key to the graphic organizer. These are the concepts that they'll be focusing on. And then this is how the labs connect to each other. So there's a variety of themes you can see. This is sort of a whole grouping of things that connect to each other in terms of the lenses. This one is the color, and this one is looking at some other things, some other concepts. So again, the core explorations are in the dark blue, and then the white are the extension explorations. So, and I'm not really big on sequence, that's a whole nother story, but if you want to look at sequential, kind of how things stack up, that's what this is going on. Ideally, you'll do mix it up before you do Seeing Red, and you'll do Seeing Red before you do Red Sky at Night, but it's not as crucial as it looks like it is there. So that's it. Oh, and then there are videos of each of the experiments are online, and they are actually all hyperlinked here. So if I connect to that one, it'll take you right to investigating pinholes and pinhole viewer. I won't play that for you now, but that's what's going on there. So that's what these are. You can certainly type in. I've given you the link if you don't have the hyperlinks, aren't working for some reason, you can type them in there, or you can just visit my YouTube channel and you'll see them all listed there. If you go to the channel, it'll also show you, I think there's a playlist, so you can look at the playlist for that under here, and then there's an optics and color playlist here. So you can watch them all in a line, or you can watch them one at a time, completely up to you. And if you want to watch them before you study or after you study, or the kids watch them or they don't watch them, again, I kind of mix it up. We don't do the same thing each time. So I hope that gives you a better overview of what the curriculum looks like inside, and that's what it looks like on the outside.